tonight sitting up with Devin Abraham, former Bull. Devin, talk to the people. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. Just enjoying the college football and NFL football again. First time really getting to be a fan and get out there and seeing everything.
Recently married. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, why? Why?
It was,
Congratulations, but why would you do that?
it was finally time. The bride was someone I've known since high school. We went to high school together. She was a cheerleader. I was a football player. Went to college together. Ended up not dating really until my sophomore year at USF. Did all that. Had our fun, and then we had a beautiful baby daughter back in 2019. So she's 4 now, and then it was just time. So we were ready to get that done. We've enjoyed it so far, and just making our way through life.
Tell me, let's just jump back into the USF days. You come on as a freshman. You don't know if you're going to play. Take me through your first couple days of being a college football player on campus.
So I actually was a part of. I feel like back then no one really enrolled early, but I was a part of. I feel like one of those first groups that enrolled early. So I went to USF back in 2014, right after my senior season at Eastlake. I had shoulder surgery, so went in there not really knowing what was going to happen, but just bright-eyed and ready to learn, and just kind of enjoy the process and see what came with it. I committed and went to a school that had just recently went 2-10. So really had no idea what was going to happen. Just was kind of committed to the process and what the vision that Coach Taggart had gave to us. So we're just bright eyed and ready to learn and just excited for the future and just to try and put USF back on the map. City that I've grown up in. So.
And everybody kind of, as far as I know, everybody loved Coach Taggart as a recruiter. How did he get you? What was his special thing that he had, the charisma that he ended up getting you there?
Just it was like I said, the vision. Being from Tampa, growing up in Tampa, being able to be a part of the classes that brought what USF was in the past, bringing it back. That was big for me, and of course, wanted to be able to have a chance to play early, but all that played a factor. Playing in the same stadium my dad played in, all that played in a factor for me to be able to stay and to stay in Tampa and not go anywhere else and play for him.
Some special seasons. You played in 3 bowl games, Miami Beach Bowl, and then the Birmingham Bowl twice. What was your best memory, not on the field, of either one of those bowl games?
Um, Miami was a good time. Being young kid, first bowl game they've been into a while.
Right.
Being able to go and do that for the school, the energy that was around it. It was a lot of us didn't know what to do because it was our first time. We went 2-10 my freshman year, then we went 4-8, and now we're winning ball games. Now we get to go to a bowl game. Leading just everything leading up to that, beating Temple and being eligible, and everyone storming the field, like all that stuff is crazy. But um, honestly, just being around the guys, the extra time you had to be around one another to learn about everyone, seeing their families, being able to come to the games, just learning about one another more. That I think that was everything that happened leading up to it. All the events that happened before the bowl games, see guys out there having fun, playing against old teammates, all that stuff for the bowl games. I think they're great, they're exciting, and just always a good time to be around.
What club was the best club down there?
I was not of age yet, so we're gonna keep those stories under wraps. But then but Birmingham, honestly, Birmingham. If we could have chose, I remember year 2 going back to Birmingham. Not many people on the team being disappointed we didn't make the championship, and then having to go back to Birmingham. We definitely had an extra chip on our shoulder because there's not much to do out in Birmingham, as you could imagine. But those games, I felt like were more fun because we stayed together the whole time in the hotel, whether it was playing spades at the hotel, playing dominoes, whatever events they had for us, we were always together, and we never really separated at those games.
UCF has been a thorn in the Bulls' side since entering the conference with USF. So You guys had some magical games. How was it going? Let's start two-part question. Let's start with the first one. How was practice entering those UCF rivalry games?
Practice was always a little bit more intense because you don't all the guys down the street you don't like too much. And a lot of them, some guys on our team didn't get offers to go to that school. A lot of the guys that were at the school we played against coming up. So it always added an extra emphasis to things. I want to be a little more detailed. I always wanted to get one up on them, be able to have some of that bragging rights going into the off season. Uh, but it rivalry games are always different no matter where you're at. Whoever it is, no matter what your record is, those games are always more fun. You always get up for it, and it's always going to be a good time. So just extra emphasis, extra detail, and always just wanted to go out there and win during practice.
And then when you lost, just take me through the round of emotions because y'all had a lot riding on those games,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can't finish it. Take me through the emotion, the ups and downs of that process. You're leaving out your own stadium or you're leaving out UCF stadium. What's that feeling like?
So year one, I still don't think I really understood that rivalry yet. So I can't speak on how much that hurt with the loss. Year two and year three, both those wins, they were like, all right, we got this team's number. Going into year four, senior year, that was my last year. Quentin Flowers, Marquez Valdez Scanlon last year. Bruce, Augie, all those guys, going against Mackenzie Milton, the Griffin brothers, or Griffin brother at the time. We knew that whoever won that game was going to win the conference. Playing on ABC, there was
Was that
so
the night?
much.
Was that the night game over in the jump out
Yes.
over in Orlando? Was that the night game?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All the juice surrounding that game. That probably was for some of us the biggest game we've ever played in. Losing that one stung for a very long time. I mean, shoot, they jumped out on us so fast too in that game. It had to be 21-7 in the first quarter, whatever the score was. They jumped out on us, and it was to see the guys come together and battle and fight and all that stuff that we went through that game, and then to never forget the we go down there. Quentin puts together a great drive with the offense. He puts his foot in the ground, gets there and scores, goes for two. We get the two-point with a broken play actually during in the end zone. Never forget it. We go and kick the ball off, and we're like, all right, just give us a chance. Like, give the defense a chance, get back on the field, let's get a stop and get the ball back. Never forget seeing the ball float. Was short, maybe caught about the 5-7 yard line, and then Mike Hughes put his foot in the ground, broke a couple tackles, and was off to the races. And you never forget it. Something like that you're going to talk about forever. Something like that you're going to talk. I'm going to talk to my kids about it. We still talk about it as a group today, like that game and what it did to us. So yeah, stuff like that hurts. Stuff like that sticks with you. But the experience that you get from it, the experience of just college football, we'll never forget about it. So.
So being a semi insider as myself and an outsider at the same time, but I want your perspective because you're an actual player that I've watched and evaluated since you were in high school and you went on and played at the school that's in my city. The argument is if Tampa could build a fence around those Tampa Bay kids, if USF could build a fence around the Tampa Bay kids, USF will be special. But why won't kids go to USF?
I can't. I don't know. I haven't. I truly do believe, like, you look at those years where we transitioned back when we were there. That 14 class, 15 class, the amount of the roster that was from the Bay Area, it was significant. I mean, had to at least be 80-85% from the Bay Area, with a couple guys out of state or maybe a little bit farther, and a couple of transfers. But even the transfers were at one point went to high school here in the Bay Area. Um, and how we turn that around with those classes. Why guys are leaving? it could be a number of things. It could just, the we were behind on things getting done. Just got the indoor, which is great. Glad for it. Just got the agreement for the stadium on campus. Great. We're making the strides to what we need to do. Or is it what's changing the game for everyone? NIL, that's big everywhere. So I can't really put a thumb on exactly what it is why kids don't want to stay, but for a school of what USF can be, just getting that vision of what it can be for the future and wanting to look for the future. Um, I can't even put a thumb on it what it could be.
Where's the best place to eat on campus?
Best place to eat on campus. Well, being at the facility for how much we were, and they've added some stuff since we left. They got a Publix on campus and all that good stuff now. But we spent a lot of time in the calf right there by the football facility, or the Marshall Center had all the good food. Had your Papa John's in there, Chick-fil-A, all that good stuff. So you go in there, spend your bull bucks and whatnot in there. But I know they've upgraded stuff around there. Just being back around campus, going to practice a couple times. Publix, all the new foods that are around campus. Just building it up and upgrading is really it was already a beautiful campus, and now they're making strides to make it even better. So that's always exciting to see, especially still being around in the area, being able to go back and see it, seeing how much is going to change. You're excited for it. So excited for the process they're doing. Excited for the stuff that's coming down the line. Loving the classic uniforms they got going on again. Shout out to Jeremy Lee's over there, and doing all that good stuff.
I'm not a big fan of the classic uniforms. I
I
like when
like
y'all
the
had
one.
the Under Armour and had all the flavor and the flair to the uniforms.
It did. It did. I don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the stuff we had, man. I got my chrome gold helmet with me, but like
Yeah.
it's something about some of those classics. I'm just like it's nice. It's crisp. That's what USF is. Clean all green or clean green on gold. I like it. So I'm good with it now. If we still have a couple uniforms a year, you get the SoFlo in
The
there.
slime green. What about the slime green?
I like the slime green. You only need it once or twice a year.
Okay, that's true.
But I do like the classic. Look, you got your Notre Dame hat on. You classic too. I
I
like it.
wish
I
we
like.
did. I wish we did everything y'all were doing though. That's when we got the Under Armour deal now. We just flip flop with y'all. We
I,
wanted the
I
Under Armour deal.
I'm good. I like the classics. Maybe one game a season throwing a new twist to it, but I like the classics.
All right. Which sorority or fraternity threw the best parties?
It had to be the sports group. We always threw the best parties out there on
Were they
campus.
were they on campus or off campus?
They were all campus, of course.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. All right. Which sporting event, non-football related, was most attended by the football players?
Which sporting event, non-football related, was attended most by the football players? It had to be a mixture between back when our girl Courtney Williams was out there hooping. We went to a lot of basketball games. Who she's now what, year 8 in the WNBA? We used to go to a lot of basketball games, soccer, softball. At one moment, we were always out there, and yeah,
Who was the silliest on the team? Like you knew you gonna get a laugh at it every time he came in the locker room. Anytime you saw him, you knew.
Darius Tice, Emilio Nadelman, both from Miami natives. Both went to well, no, one of them went to Miami Central, the other one went to the West. Those two there were straight up clowns. I mean, it could be one of the serious moments that could be going on, and Tice is gonna make you laugh regardless. And then he would go out there and ball. Tice was a good dude. We still keep in touch. A lot of the guys that those from those classes, we still keep in touch. Some of you know a little bit closer than others. I mean, we have a good group of guys that still try and keep connected and talk to one another.
Give me your best Quentin Flowers moment, not on the field. Something he said, something he did. Uh, what made him special outside of his athleticism?
Quentin, a lot of people saw Quentin in the media. If you didn't know Quentin from the media side and how well spoken he would be. Besides when he started to get his Noah story later on, and when he got inducted to Hall of Fame, all that good stuff. Quentin was actually a pretty funny dude too. He wouldn't like to show it too much. He was always in the locker room, always playing pool, always trying to learn, always trying to get better. And then it slowly, as he got more comfortable, that's when you see him become that leader. But Quentin was a funny dude too, and he would never be quiet. He's one of those dudes that don't talk, but then when he gets around you, like, hey, Quentin, like, hey, relax, dude. But he was a competitor. We always went at it. He was a competitor. He loved to be aiming ball, and then he loves his little girl. So that's cute in a nutshell.
What was the biggest difference between Taggart and Coach Strong?
Um, Taggart Taggart was they both were player type guys, like let the players lead. Tiger was more. He was closer with us. He walking around in the locker room or in the hallways with his phone, playing the most popular artists at a time, sitting there rapping lyrics with you. Come sit down and chop it up with you at the dinner table, getting to know you a little bit. And it was more of always just it was a free for all with us. It was once we started winning and we figure out that formula of just kind of letting it hang loose. That's how it was. I mean, he used to walk into the pregame video. You go out there before you leave for the stadium and get your little pregame speech and all that stuff. He'd walk in by, hey, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. We're gonna get the ball first, and we're gonna score on the first play. The first time he said it, we were like, let's score on the first play. All right,
Did
all
that
right, cool.
happen? Did it
If
happen?
Yeah, twice.
Which game was that?
The Florida State game in 2016 at USF,
Oh, that's
and
right.
was it SMU? It was
Was
either
that Rodney?
SMU.
Was that Rodney Adams? Was that Rodney Adams against Florida State?
Rodney was one of them, and the other one I believe was Marquez or was Tyree McCants. But those were the two things like, hey, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna score on the first play. We were like, first time we are like, all right, yeah, cool, but how likely is that to happen? Both times he called a play, dialed up, touchdown, and we were like, all right, and that's kind of how he let us go. It was,
So wait,
you
wait,
know,
wait. Hold on. So take me back. He only did it twice, and both times it worked,
yes, that he came in and vocalized we were going to score on the first play.
and it worked both times.
Yes, he went 2 for 2. Um, and it
Okay.
was always a fun time with him. I mean, from things like run hotel, the how we prepared for the games, how we let up game night, game day. It was always a lot of fun. Coach Strong was the same way. Coach Strong had a good staff with him. It was a little bit more strong, a little bit more strict. I mean, for instance, we went from all the uniforms to all you saw us wear his first year was the gold helmets, all green, all white, minus the SoFlo game. So stuff like that. No one got visors. No one had hand towels. It was a little bit more strict with him. And I think early on we played kind of uptight, and it took us. I mean, shoot, we had like 30 some odd seniors that year, and it had us going there and talking to them like, look, dude, we don't win a lot of games. We just need you to ride the ship with us. And I think it took that meeting with him for him to understand. And then after that, I mean, we were undefeated until the Houston game, but we started to play a little bit better. We started to play every game, how we knew we could, scoring points, playing defense, and I think we all grew that year as that last group that Taggart had recruited in there, and to be able to go out and put ourselves in a chance for a championship game that we thought we were going to ultimately get to.
So take me back to that meeting, y'all. Who organized the senior meeting, and then how did y'all execute it with Coach?
Um, it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. It was more let's say, like, you remember how I told you Darius Tyson was one of the funniest in the locker room. He also didn't have much room to hold his tongue a lot, so he would bring stuff up, and Strong would listen to him. Augie and Quentin would bring. They were our two captains. They would bring stuff up. He would listen to him, and it kind of was, we were all kind of he'd pull you aside, kind of talk type of thing. And then it came, team meeting. He'd ask us, the unity council. He'd ask us, and we kind of just give him our input, and then we opened up the playbook. We started to have a little bit more fun. Um, we asked for our stuff back. The only one that ended up getting advisor was Quentin Flowers, but hey, we got something. Um, So it just, I think it took us just talking to him, for him to kind of, okay, let's let these guys do what they do, and then we'll just fix what we need as we go.
Devin, last thing, talk to the fans. Any kind of appreciation you want to show to them. Give us the biggest USF recruiting spill you got, my man.
Hey, look, so last week went out to the Alabama game, first game, took my wife, took my daughter out there, saw a lot of alumni, saw the stands where the student section was out there, the fans stayed, the guys put on a good game. We're getting close. We're getting back. We're getting guys in the door. We're playing football. They're playing for one another, and that's what it needs. We just keep giving them your support. I think they're very close. It might not be this year, but I do think they are close, and I think that as long as we keep pushing, those guys keep working, we're gonna be back in no time. And just have faith. Like I said, my class, committed to a 2-10 team. I had no idea what was going to happen in the next few years. I mean, and we just kept playing. That Syracuse game, we wore all white at home. Got that win against Syracuse, and that turned things around. It takes one game for us to figure it out, and you could be rolling, and USF could be back on the map in Florida and in the nation. So,
My man, Devin Abraham, thank you for your time, my man.
appreciate you.